Hi developers, I'm Hossein Abdelai, Microsoft MVP. In this video, we'll learn how to create a CI pipeline in Visual Studio Mobile Center for our Xamarin Forms application. The CI pipeline will start by building the Xamarin Forms application for Android. Then we'll sign the APK. Then we'll run a UI test to make sure that the application launches successfully. Then we'll go and distribute the application for our beta testers. Let's take a look at the code of the application that we want to build. So here I have a demo of the application. It's called BMI, so it's for calculating the body mass index. So you give it your height in meters, then your weight. You press calculate BMI and it will give you that index. If we try with some other values right here, calculate BMI, then it will tell you if your body mass index is the ideal or if you are an overweight or obese status. The code is so simple. So here it's a Xamarin Forms application. So I have my main page in which I have here I get the value for the height, the weight. I'm using data binding along with commands, and when clicking the button it will execute the calculate body IMC command. The calculate IMC command will get the weight and the height entered by the user, then it will calculate the value and show the category. This app is hosted on GitHub. For that you see here the blue icons, and if I go to GitHub you can see that here in this repository we do have the source code. We are hosting it on GitHub in order to use it later in Visual Studio Mobile Center. Cool. So now let's go to Visual Studio Mobile Center by going to this URL mobile.azure.com. From here we can log in with GitHub or Microsoft. Here I'm using my Microsoft account. Once I log it in, here I get my applications that I already created. And for this tutorial we create a new application by going to add a new app. From here we give the name for our application. I call it body mass index. Then from here we choose if this is an iOS or Android application. So I pick Android application. Then we choose the platform in which is written our application. So here it's a Xamarin Forms application, so I choose Xamarin. Add a new app. This will create the app for us, and here it's asking me to add the Xamarin or the Mobile Center SDK in order to start getting analytics and crash reports about my application. We won't do that in this video, but we'll do it in another video. Instead, here we'll go to build our CI pipeline. So we go to build right here, and from build the first step is to get the source code of your application. Here, because our application is on GitHub, we'll go to choose the GitHub option right here, and then select the repository that is hosting your application. Here it is a perfect body DevOps. So I choose that, and here it is selecting that repository which is on the master branch. Clicking on it, here it tells me to configure the build. So let's click that, and here we have all the steps for building, signing, testing, and distributing the application. So let's go by the first one, which is building the application. So here it is asking for the CS project for my application. Here in Xamarin Forms it is this project. Then it is asking for the configuration we want to use. Here we want to use the release configuration, and then we'll choose the mono version, which will choose the latest one right here. Then here I get this option for build frequency. Here it is asking if I want to launch the build in each time a new commit is created, or I want to do that manually. Because we want to do a continuous integration, we pick the first option. Then here we are ask it to, if we want to automatically increment the version code. We go and say yes, we want to do that. Then we'll have the version code of your application will start with the build ID or with the timestamp. Here we'll choose with the build ID, and if you choose the timestamp, then that will give you the date on which the build has been run. So let's choose build ID. Then here we have the option for signing builds. If we choose that, if we enable that to on, then here in this window it is asking for a key store file. So let's understand what has happened until now. So the first is building the project. Then in this one it will sign that build, and signing the build means it will sign the APK, because building will generate an APK. Now we want to sign that APK. Signing the Android APK is done through the key store. So we need to have a key store file, and I have already generated a key store file from Visual Studio. So if I go back to my Visual Studio, go to Android project, right here if I right click and then choose here archive, then I get this archive manager window from which I can create key store files. So let's see now how we can create this key store file. If I go to one of these builds and click distribute, then here I'll choose ad hoc. You can also choose a Google Play if you are planning to publish your application to Google Play. And then I get here the already created key store files. If I want to create a new one, then I click this plus button, then give an alias for my application, password, and then confirm that password. Those three values will be used later from the VS Mobile Center. As we see here, it is asking for the key store password, key store key alias, and then the key password. So make sure you note those values that you used right here. Once you have created that key store, then you can right click on it, and in this window you can get the path to your key store file, or simply you can say view in Explorer, and that will populate your key store file, which is in my case in this path right here. So now let's upload that key store file from here. I go to here, go to downloads, then import that key store, then put the values that we used for the key store password. Then we go to the next step, which is right here, testing on a real device. If I enable that, then what this will do, it will pick a device from Xamarin Test Cloud, and it will launch our application on that device and see if the application launches successfully. It's only one test, so you see here we don't have the UI tests for that, but it just will test if our application just launches successfully without any crashes. So we enable that, it's free to use. Then here we do have the fourth step, which is distributing the APK. So if we go and enable that, then here we get a team into which we want to send the application. So I choose this one right here, and here we do have another option in advanced. So if we enable that, then we'll get here a badge indicating whether the build was done successfully or not. So this is looks like the badge I have here in my GitHub project right here. So it will give you this badge, which will indicate if the latest build was done successfully or not. So you get the link right here, which is a link for an image or for a badge, and you use it in your markdown or your readme file in GitHub. So let's save those settings. Now from here we can start building this application, and you see it is started building the application. So if I click that, then here you see all the steps that it will go through in order to build, assign, test and publish the application. The build was done successfully, and from here I can go and download the APK file that was generated after this build, and I also can go and distribute this application. An email have been already sent to all the people and in our distribution right here. So I get this mail from Mobile Center telling me that there is a new version for my application. So if I go and click see the details, then I will be redirected right here to this page, asking me to open this page in an Android application in order to start downloading the application, the APK, and install it to my Android device. After the build, also we get the results for the tests. So if we click the results, then here we get that UI test that will ensure the application launches successfully, here telling me that it passed successfully. So we have only one test. We can get more details about that test. So here I get it was launched on an LG device right here with the Android 7.0 and with all the details about the memory usage for this application on this device. If I click details, then I can get more details about that device, and I also can access the logs generated by when my application was running on that device. Those logs might help me to identify bugs or why my application might not launch successfully on this device. So this was it for today. In a few clicks we were able to create a CI pipeline to build, sign, test and deploy or publish our APK to our beta testers. So thank you.